The Widow of Zirin. In the star system of Zirin 5, the planet Halora was known for its strict caste laws and ancient traditions. Among its people, the Eldari, women who lost their spouses, called widows, were considered both cursed and dishonoured. Punishments for widows ranged from exile to ritual servitude, and the Eldari considered humans, rare travelers in their quadrant, perfect vessels of restitution. Kael Thorne, a human merchant captain from Earth, had barely survived an Eldari blockade raid. His ship was damaged, his crew dispersed, and his resources nearly depleted. He expected little more than hostility from the alien authorities when he landed in Halora's capital. But what greeted him was stranger than any cosmic storm. The Eldari Council had sentenced the widow Lyra Valen to him, not as a bride, not as a companion, but as a punishment. To the Eldari, giving her to a human was both a humiliation to the widow and a test for Kael. No human had ever survived such an assignment unscathed. Many were expelled, and some never left. Lyra, tall and graceful, with silver-tinted hair and piercing violet eyes, bowed curtly as she was escorted onto Kael's ship. Her expression was unreadable, though a faint shadow of fear lingered in her gaze. She had been through this ritual countless times, transferred from human to alien, forced to endure strange customs, always treated as property. Kael, uncertain and cautious, welcomed her aboard. "You don't have to trust me," he said, "but I won't harm you." Lyra's eyes narrowed, suspicion evident. "And yet you are human," she replied softly. "Do you know what the Eldari expect of you?" Kael shook his head. "I know only what I see. You are not a weapon, you are not a burden. You are a person." Her lips twitched in a ghost of a smile. Few humans had ever dared speak to her this way. The journey begins. Kael's ship limped across the Haloran nebulae, evading pirates and navigating deadly gravitational eddies. At first, Lyra remained silent, observing every move, never speaking unless necessary. Kael noticed her intelligence, her ability to anticipate space currents, recalibrate damaged thrusters, and suggest safer routes. Despite the Eldari's intention, she was no passive prisoner. Her skills saved them from a rogue asteroid field, and Kael began to see her as an invaluable ally rather than a punishment. At night, in the ship's observation dome, Kael studied her profile against the starlit expanse. He wondered at her strength, the calmness in her violet eyes, the precision in her movements, the quiet defiance she carried despite years of being treated as property. "You've been given to me as punishment," Kael said one evening, "but I don't see you as a burden. You've saved me more times than I can count." Lyra's gaze softened slightly. "I've survived because I must. Humans, perhaps you survive differently, but I sense you respect me, not fear me. That is rare." Kael smiled. "I've learned to value courage where I find it, no matter the species." The trial of trust. Midway through their voyage, Kael received a distress signal from a stranded Eldari convoy under pirate attack. Boarding his ship, Lyra immediately took command, coordinating defenses and targeting enemy vessels with uncanny precision. Kael observed her tactical genius, impressed by her ability to adapt. As the battle intensified, Kael realized something crucial. Lyra had been underestimated by her own people because she refused to conform. Where the Eldari saw punishment, Kael saw talent, loyalty, and brilliance. After the skirmish, as the pirates retreated, Kael extended his hand. "We survived," he said. Because we trusted each other. Lyra hesitated, then grasped it firmly. Perhaps, trust can exist even where it is forbidden. That night, Lyra revealed her past. How the Eldari treated widows, how she had been used as a tool of humiliation, and how no one had ever believed in her strength. Kael listened, silent, then said, "You're more than what they tell you. You're extraordinary. And I won't let anyone, human or Eldari, take that from you." Her eyes glimmered with an emotion Kael had never seen in an Eldari before. Hope. The bond deepens. As weeks passed, their bond strengthened. Lyra taught Kael Eldari customs, language, and navigation techniques. Kael, in turn, shared human strategies, engineering knowledge, and a sense of humor that made her laugh for the first time in years. They faced numerous challenges: asteroid storms, rogue mercenaries, and treacherous warp currents. Yet each trial revealed their synergy, trust, and growing affection. Lyra began to see Kael not as a human who had been given to her, but as a partner, someone who valued her as a whole person, not as a symbol or a tool. When they approached the Eldari capital again, the council expected to reclaim their widow, but Kael and Lyra had grown into a formidable pair. Lyra now commanded the ship with confidence. Kael supported her, their combined skills unmatched by any Eldari patrol. The climactic confrontation. The Eldari Council demanded Lyra's return. But Kael refused. "She is not your property," he declared. "She is her own master. And I will stand by her, human or not." The council sent in forces to seize her. In a tense standoff aboard the docking platform, Lyra activated hidden Eldari defense protocols, disabling weapons and immobilizing ships with non-lethal energy nets. The council realized she was no longer the frightened widow. They had underestimated her. Kael stepped forward, standing beside her. "You see now what I see," he said. "She is invaluable, brave, and free. Punishment cannot chain her, nor should it chain anyone." The Eldari bowed reluctantly, acknowledging that the widow they had sent as punishment had become their greatest asset, and that the human who stood with her had earned their respect. Ending. A human and alien alliance. Lyra chose to remain with Kael, traveling together across star systems. She became an ambassador of sorts, showing the galaxy that humans and Eldari could respect one another, learn from one another, and even protect one another. Kael realized that the punishment the Eldari had intended became the galaxy's greatest story of HFY. The human had not only survived but had elevated Lyra to her true potential. And together, they forged bonds that transcended species, laws, and expectations. Lyra, once a widow sent as a tool of shame, became Kael's greatest treasure, not because she was given to him, but because she had chosen to trust, fight, and shine. As their ship glided through a nebula of violet clouds, Kael looked at Lyra and said softly, "You're more than anyone ever expected." She smiled, violet eyes glimmering against the starlight. "And you are braver than any human I've met." In that moment, a human and an alien defied prejudice, rewriting their fates and proving that courage, respect, and trust could bridge any galaxy.